All right, everybody, we are back again. Search for Huru, Dynasty Mirror. We have the brother Sub Zero on with us today. We're going to be discussing, um, you know, an interesting topic. We've been dealing with this for a while now in regards to black men who suffer from the black woman is Thanos syndrome. So we're going to be addressing that and why the black woman to many male YouTubers are the blame for everything in the black community for some reason. So, brother Sub Zero, thank you so much for coming on. And when you muted yourself, Sub Zero, that ended the echo. So that helped out a lot. So, everybody, once again, thank you for joining us, and thank you for thank the brother Sub Zero for coming on with us today, this mid afternoon. So, brother Sub Zero, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, brother. I like this topic, and I think that I don't know, man. I actually had a video I filmed. I hadn't filmed it. I was putting the video together. Well, I was just talking about dustiness in the black community and dealing with, sisters. There's just a lot of dusty brothers out here. Now, I'm not saying all the black men, most of us are dusty, or yeah, I think most black people, most YouTubers delve into statistics on a regular basis, and we make a lot of assumptions based on statistical data without really vetting every possible, uh, you know, I wouldn't say control, but whatever variant that could affect numbers, statistics, everything. So when we talk about the black woman, I think that's the backdrop through which we have to look at it. I think that there's some truth to what these brothers are saying. I mean, I'm not in any way saying that. I think to try to put a number on it, a lot of times may deal with your ideology, and a lot of times it may just deal with it could be factual. So, that's just my take on it.
But and trust me, I completely agree that there is some truth to it, but you, we can't place the entire blame on all the issues in the black community on the black woman. That's the only point I'm making. I mean, we both play a role, myself included. I mean, I've participated in some dysfunctional uh, actions in the black community. But I think a lot of brothers who point the finger at black women refuse to admit that them themselves are not perfect. Why is that? And it's another thing, Sub Zero, before you come back on. They say that the black woman holds herself unaccountable. But I'm noticing that a lot of these black men who all they do is do hit pieces on the black woman, they also hold themselves unaccountable. Is it that they are the black woman are the what they consider the black woman in quotation marks? Is it merely just a reflection of themselves, or what is it?
I think that when you talk about the black woman, it's a character. It's they talk about mom with on Section 8 food stamps, welfare. Daddy's on child support. He's a good, well-meaning guy, but she's just a mean, evil bitch. Won't let him see his kids. She's got 3 or 4 other kids with Pookie and Ray Ray. That's the perfect example of a single mom. That right there fits. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I have no problem in videos going against that particular situation because that shows a lack of responsibility. That shows just a lot of things. I think where we kind of run off the rails, if you will, is where we refuse to hold those fathers accountable, or if we do hold them accountable, it can be a sense of, well, it's Pookie and Ray Ray. She just chose wrong. But be honest with you, there are a lot of guys that are professional that do well to be fathers, and they just lazy and trifling. That happens too. But also, I think we on the internet, a lot of us refuse to really step back and say that maybe black men need to learn how to control their dicks. Maybe black men need to focus more on power, wealth, and influence than on ass. And that right there will actually, if we gain self-control, I mean, just look at, let's be honest. I mean, let's, for example, I did a video about how women have no morals and standards and stuff, but look at the pictures I was able to find in 3 minutes, just scrolling down my timeline. Look at and in those videos, look at the comments. Brothers, there's not a shortage of black men that applaud ratchet behavior, and there's not a shortage of black men that have had unprotected sex with these women. I mean, half of the brothers that are on the internet bitching and complaining about black women have, in fact, themselves practiced unsafe sex with these women, or not necessarily that woman, but a woman. So it does stand to reason that you are a hypocrite by definition when you shun someone for living the exact same lifestyle that you yourself have lived, because you think, okay, I have the pull-out method, or I have, I mean, we've all had girls. We've been in that situation where the period was late and we were all scared. I had that happen a couple of times. So I'm not in any delusions that once that a lot of these brothers that are talking have had women either have abortions, or they've had women who they slept with unprotected and just were blessed to come out that situation without, creating an offspring. So I think we have to be fair. I think, if I'm gonna live my life a certain way, I can't fault a girl for living the exact same way I live. That's just me.
Now, do you think that you can put your phone on?
Say what?
I'm saying if you can put your
phone. Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to get back on there, man. This damn phone. I'm trying to work. I get some new phone.
Okay, there we go. So Sub-Zero, do you think that Sub-Zero, why do you think that a lot of these black men blame the black woman for everything? Like, what's the real issue? What's the underlying?
Well, I do agree with you that there are a lot of brothers who are socially awkward. There are a lot of brothers who chose wrong, chose a woman who's a bitch, but she has a fat ass. Because let's be honest, a lot of beautiful women can be bitches. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be fair. There are a lot of beautiful women that don't make good parents, that don't make good mothers. That it's it's a myriad of issues. When you were young and you were in your 20s and you didn't have any money and you were mad because she wouldn't give you the sex that you wanted. And so when you get older, now you've become more financially stable. You're in a better financial situation. Now she's more attracted to you, but she may have a child, and so you're angry, and there's some bitterness, there's some baggage. It's just as much as there's baggage of a woman who's dated Pookie and Ray Ray. It's the same thing. I think they're bitter, and so are a lot of brothers that are bitter because they didn't get. Now, of course, we don't like to use the term bitter when it comes to men, but I think there is a lot of baggage when you've been shut down. I'm gonna be honest with you. I used to be shy, and I used to be afraid to walk up to different women. And if a woman shut me down a certain way, I didn't have the confidence. A lot of times, I was young, inexperienced. So a girl shuts me down, I can't psychologically build myself out of that hole of my ego's been crushed, and I feel like, man, she didn't have to do me like, she didn't have to say it like that. And that'll stop a brother from talking to a woman for a year. I mean, I know brothers that won't say anything to women, and the woman could be checking them out, giving them the eye. They're so afraid to walk up to a woman and say hello. So, it's a lot of things that we have to kind of own up to. There's a lack of men you're raising a lot of boys. So a lot of them, and even if they do have a man, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're confident enough to walk up and, handle rejection. I mean, a lot of them can't handle rejection of starting a business and failing. I mean, just look at that. I mean, a lot of us are afraid. We always say we don't have the resources. I beg to differ. I think a lot of us are, like I was going to put in my video about being dusty, a lot of us are afraid of failure. But failure is how you learn. When you were a child, no one told you couldn't walk because you couldn't speak. You didn't understand. You just kept trying. You didn't know any better. Nobody told you that failure. If a child could understand English coming out the womb and they were constantly beat down, you'll never be able to walk. It's just that child. You got people probably be in their 50s and never walked before because they'll listen to what people tell them. So I'm I don't think that it's the pretty boy doesn't understand, or the guy who has money, or he's the apex of what females want, doesn't understand. I think every man can relate to rejection. Not to a certain extent, others less so, but you know, I don't think you right now are still playing football. I don't think you still. I don't think you're in the NFL. So it being a certain physical, the way you look, the way you handle yourself, those are things you can maximize, things you can fix. And that's just my mindset.
All right, cool. So let me ask you this. Somebody in the chat room just brought this up. Me and you, we've both traveled, to different continents. And I noticed that this black woman bashing, black male bashing is only a black American phenomenon. Why is that? Because I don't notice this elsewhere.
In Korea, the women and men are way worse than they are in America. Their men are cutting their women. There was this female that was cut to pieces. Like the Koreans ain't playing. They having a sex war over there, a gender war over there. So, I mean, there are other societies where the women are bucking against the men. We're not the only ones, but I think you have to kind of let's just be honest. And I know this is unpopular with a lot of guys. When you don't have anything built, I'm sorry. I think that is a report card. Now we can talk about why, because I believe there are two types of victims. There are helpless victims, and there are just simply victims. We're all victims of racism and white supremacy. We all are. Black. If you're black, you're descendants of slaves, and you're descendants of anybody that's black and have black hands, black skin, knotty hair. You suffered some sort of discrimination in this country. You just have. But that's just that. I mean, once you stop at that and say, okay, that's it, but that doesn't necessarily mean I can't get my doctorate. That doesn't necessarily mean I can't get out here and build some wealth. That doesn't mean I can't have anything. That's one thing. When you stop at that, when you keep saying, well, I have that and I'm helpless, nobody's giving me anything, and you pull out your violin and you want self-pity, well, then that's when people start turning and going against you more so. I ain't gonna say people. Some women are unfair. I've seen women that are just completely ignoring certain key elephants in the room. But to just say that they're, to act as though there aren't a lot of excuses that are ample out here for black men right now, there are. And I think look, nobody cares. Nobody's going to give us anything. Nobody's going to feel sorry for us. Nobody's going to say, you know what, black man, you're right. So you know what? Here's $100,000. Go start you a business. That's not going to happen, because that probably means they were going to have to, disenfranchise or remove power from their power structure. Nobody's going to do that. That's not the way of nature. So some social Darwinism is going on right now. And it's you're either going to kill or be killed. You either get down or lay down. I don't think it's, I think your bloodline is going to be killed off because you haven't adapted. It's all about adapting. I don't think that every black man that's on the internet that's bitching about black women has maximized everything he possibly can. And then you say, well, why do I got to do all that when the black woman doesn't? Well, she does it because she has a fat ass and a pretty face. Sorry. So women have certain things that we don't have. So, a woman with a fat ass and a pretty face doesn't have to be as, mature and responsible in certain instances, because people are going to give them things. She's a woman. I know a girl who was a stripper, 30-some years old. She beautiful. Of course, she worked at Magic City. I talked to her. I was in there one day. She said she had the exact same education degree I got. I said, well, why don't you get into IT and do this and do that? I don't like IT. I'm like, but you stripping butt booty ass naked in Magic City. You tell me you don't like that, but you're doing it, But she's a woman. Somebody came along, about a year later, and some guy helped her get into, because she's pretty. So people want to help pretty people. So I'm sorry, but as a man, I think nobody's going to give you anything. Nobody's going to help you. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you embrace that and start making adaptations to try to empower yourself, I think the better off you'll be as a man.
All right, cool. So, shout out to Miss Hope TV. She just became a certified notary of the public. So, congratulations to Miss Hope TV for achieving that, for getting that certification. Akim 2-Day Bolton, say thank you for the super chat. The brother says, "What is a boy to do if he is raised by a woman? They are popping out kids with worthless boys and thus creating more worthless boys. They are creating the problem. What do we do about that?" Let me ask you this, Sub-Zero. Do you think a lot of these men, either MGTOW or men that bash black women on the internet all day, that they have unresolved mommy issues?
I wouldn't even call it mommy. I think it's just some of it is psychological. I do think it's, if every time we talk or I see your video, not talk, but every time I see your videos, black women, black women, black women, then there's something psychological. See, on your channel, Dynas, people could, if somebody was trying to say Dynas has a problem, well, they'll say Dynas' problem is he has a passion for black people. He feels as though he needs to do something to try to empower black people. So they can say psychologically, they can make a psychological profile of who you are. Whereas if you go to someone else's channel and it's black women, black women, black women, then you have to, reasonably deduce that that person has some sort of psychological issue towards black women. Now, is there some truth to what they're saying? Of course. That's what they don't hear. Now, this is the part of the video they're going to ignore if somebody try to make a rebuttal. That's what they're going to ignore that. And you're just acting like it's just that easy. Pretty guys don't understand. Like, I guess I kind of consider myself a pretty guy. I mean, I think I am. But at the end of the day, that's not why. Let me tell you something. When I used to flip houses, and I made $600,000 one year, right? There was a time I bought a house, and in 4 hours I sold it and made $100,000 off. That was in 2006. 4 hours. Let me tell you something. That does something to your confidence, brother. When you walk out of a lawyer's office with a yearly salary in your pocket, your swag changes. Okay? You just feel different. And I'm sorry, it exudes, and I can tell the difference. Now, 3-4 years prior to that, I was washing cars, driving an old beat up van, dirty beat up van. So there was a different swagger that I took, a different way I handled myself with women. Because if I ask a woman out, she gets in my van, she gonna smell like gas. I just didn't have my shit together. And I can tell the way I dealt with women. So when I got my money right, it changed the way I looked at everything. When you get yourself together, a lot of times, even with the hater, I heard my homeboy Tyron talk about this. He said he felt some jealousy in his heart about something one time. It was because he hadn't went out and done anything for himself. When you're doing something for yourself, when your shit is together, half the shit that these black women may come on the internet and bitch about, it doesn't bother you. You don't get in your feelings. Like, I'll listen to Chrissy's videos. It doesn't bother me. Even though I disagree with a lot of the stuff she may say, or I disagree. I don't get mad or angry, because that's not me. I'm not broke. I'm not a scrub. I have businesses. My resume speaks for itself. I've done things. I can attest to, going out. And as far as going into the community, you said a lot of sisters are putting out babies with ain't shit guys. Every guy that's on YouTube that is of some sort of ilk, if you will, a good ilk, a good pedigree, why not go and help a young kid? Why not go and mentor? I got a friend of mine, went to the Big Brothers program, and the guy was the lady told her, look, there aren't that many big black men that will volunteer for that, because she said she wanted a professional black heterosexual black male to mentor her son. There weren't any. She had to go with a white guy. I'd rather the child get some sort of positive influence. And then another thing I want to shoot down is I actually spoke offline with this sister. Shout out to Ashley W. She told me to say, well, you'll spend 4 hours with a kid, and then that he'll go home and get negative programming. Everything isn't absolute. It isn't 100%. He's in a situation where somebody's putting the drugs up to his face, every day telling him to go sell drugs. Every child's not in that situation. My friend's son isn't in that situation. He could benefit. And even if he is, that don't tell me that if a child goes, if I took a child with me to that closing office and showed him, look, man, this is how much money I made. This is how long it took me 4 hours to make $100,000. That'll stick with a little 10-year-old. Don't tell me it won't. That'll stick. That stuck with me when my dad took me. Let me tell you, my dad and my parents got divorced. I didn't see my dad every day he was in my life. I didn't see him every day though, but I saw him 2 or 3 times a week. But even so, what really stuck through with me was him going and working with his hands and rehabbing his own houses. And I'm there every Saturday morning with him. Going every time he had a closing, he took me in there with him, made me sit there and watch it. And he would lecture me and talk to me about, this is what you can do, son. This is how much money you can make if you know. That's more money than a lot of guys I knew that sold drugs. They never had their hands on that kind of money. You get what I'm saying? But that's what I'm talking about. That's what negative when we take these ideologies of YouTube and take them and live and try to live our lives with them, it really is fucked up, because a lot of times you're neglecting a local kid in your community who you probably can give back to, who you probably can go back. And it doesn't have to be through Big Brother, just in general. When you see a young brother through your church, through anything, man, go out and help him. Don't, I think that's a lot of black men, take this mindset, his mammy's going to deprogram everything I put in him. Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
All right. So okay. So I guess I don't want to say the excuse that's being used by many in the bash black women circle on why they don't mentor in the community is because they feel as if black women have destroyed the community and there's no point in mentoring kids in the community, and that since black women aren't going to be held accountable, they're not going to give back into the community and mentor. Is this a fair assessment or a fair excuse to not mentor kids in the community, or can we have balance? If we can still mentor the kids in the community, but still hold black women accountable and tell them to stop having, or allegedly, because again, the excuse is, well, all these black women are just running around with 5 kids by 5 different baby daddies. Is there a way we can hold them accountable in regards to their actions and still help mentor in the community? Because me personally, I believe that every kid should be able to have a mentor. But many all I do is bash black women in the black community. Many in that circle believe that this is not the case. How do you feel about that?
2 things. First of all, I guess let me make the first point. The first point, a lot of brothers don't have any gifts or skills that they could offer besides going to get a job somewhere. I'm just being honest. Like, I'm not trying to be funny. Like, you could mentor. I'm not saying you can't, but a lot of brothers that are complaining, if you really look at them, they don't have shit to offer any damn way. They'll say they do. Everybody on YouTube is making plenty of money, making 6 figures, educated. They read a bunch of books. Let them tell it. They're very super intelligent. They all have IQs over 150. That's the quintessential YouTuber, right? But that's not what we see on the ground, because if that were the case, if we had this many, because it's 43% of black men don't have kids. So if all these 43% of black men were actually out here producing and doing something, would the black community look like it does? I think there's something to be said when a woman says that. I don't get upset because, see, my shit together. I ain't trying to be cocky. I'm just saying, it don't bother me when a woman say you didn't build. I can show you what I personally have built. So it doesn't bother me. It only, hit dogs holler. That's number 1. Number 2, I'm gonna say this. If we switched right now, let's say that black men owned 50%, let's say 87% of the wealth in America. Damn near everywhere you look was owned by a black man. You could go to Atlanta and the whole damn skyline is owned by black people. Houston, Charlotte, every major city, you look and it's black people that own the skyscrapers and shopping malls and everything, right? Black men. Now, Black women want to work in corporate America. Who owns the building? Black man, right? If the black man tells her, look, we need you to wear your hair like this, we make the standard natural hair. We make the standard, we give women, we prefer women that are in shape. We discriminate against fat women. We discriminate against women that don't do what they're supposed to do. Women will acquiesce. How do we know? Because when it comes to white people, that's what they do. They acquiesce to white men. Whatever white men tell them to do, they do. Come into work with a suit on, with a what they call a bitch suit. They come to work with a bitch suit on. You tell them to come to work with their hair. Can't be natural. It can't be this. It can't be that. Guess what? They wear weave. A lot of them they come in with a fro or whatever. If it's offensive, a lot of them don't wear it. Look, women acquiesce to power, and I believe if we want a patriarchy, we need to build. Now, if let's say these brothers are right, and our women don't acquiesce to the power that we build, well, then now we're empowered. We can say fuck you and go wherever we want to go. Then, at any rate, you should build regardless because you are a man. Now, I love black women. I love my community, and I want to see black people prosper. And so I got a 100-year plan. I was listening to Lord Jamar. He was talking about Hillary Clinton. He said, man, a lot of these people plan out in hundreds of years and 20, 30 years ago when Hillary saw Bill Clinton was cheating, there was a deal made that she would be, a candidate for presidency. And so we knew that, and of course, 20, 30 years later, there she was. These people make plans 20 years in advance. We don't do that. We try to make plans, a week or 2 days at the most. We don't plan 10, 20 years down the line, because if we did, we'll think, you know what, I need to get kids. I need to build economically. We don't care about that shit. Can't have it both ways. You can't burn the candle on both ends. If you really care, then you'll mentor someone. If you really care, there's certain things that you will see prevalent and dominant in our community. So I think we as men, if we want a patriarchy, if we care about that, number one thing in a patriarchy is economics. You got to have your economics. You go to Dr. Claude Anderson, the first floor of that five-fold platform. We started talking about education at the top. The first floor was control the economy within your community. Then he said, buy and lease politicians. That's what he talks about building economically for blacks. You cannot do that if you don't have, economics in place. So black men first need to get that together. If we do that, look, man, you can hop a plane and go get you a woman from Africa, Brazil, Puerto Rico, but when less than 5% of black men got passports, and half of those men are married, and then out of those, how many of those guys are gay and, all of that? So, you got to look at that, man. So I think we got to get our game together first. So that's where I try to focus on first, is getting money, power, and respect. The rest of it will just melt into place. I know we don't believe that, but we have no real frame of reference to deny what we're saying. But the only frame of reference we do have, well, let's look at what happens with white men. And I know what they're going to say. Well, Asian men have power and their women prefer white men. Well, yeah, but they were subjugated through a lot of shit. And that's the thing when I talk about statistics when I first started. It's a lot of shit, man. People ignore things. Asian women, yeah, they do, but the whole world's been subjugated by white men. The white man is pretty much the apex predator in any community he goes in. Like, let's not deny that. There isn't anywhere that the white man can't go and take and get the women. So to just say that Asian women prefer is a whole different, ball of wax. But 9 times out of 10, who do they marry? Asian men. So, statistically they do. But you can say that they are the most dated out of their own race. Yes, they are. But, like I said, man, get power, wealth, and influence. And either way, man, if it doesn't work, fine. But now you are empowered. Now and I think if enough of us get empowered, we will see change collectively. I believe that.
Okay, so let's see here. So somebody in the chat room, I forgot who, please forgive me, said that in order to have a functioning society or a functioning community, both men and women would have to hold each other accountable. Now, black men who all they do is bash black women all day, are they serious about having building a black community if they don't hold themselves accountable as well?
that therein is, and I mean, let's be honest. I mean, you have a movement on the internet supporting the thugs. I mean, you literally have a bunch of intelligent brothers whom I respect, making excuses and playing the violin for Pookie and Ray Ray. And why they're the apex predator and they're going to go build, which, that's laughable. But that's what, that's who we feel right now. I mean, so we got that going on. And then you got a lot of politics being played. And let me say this, man, there's a lot of politics being played on YouTube as well. Half the men that are bashing black women are doing it for the approval of other men. They're doing it for the approval of other YouTubers. They say certain things to people please. You got to also take that into account. I mean, let's be honest. If a brother comes on the internet right now and says, hey, I'm not really angry at black women, I think black men should build da-da-da-da-da. Oh, man, you got a bunch of brothers who will get angry and make 4-hour hangouts calling you a simp.
Mm-hmm.
And saying you're out of touch and don't get it. Me, I say, okay, I agree. I could agree or disagree, keep it moving. I'm not finna make a 4-hour hangout, and this is no shot against anybody in particular, because I don't want to start no shit. But, just in general, I think a lot of us aren't being genuine with ourselves and saying, you know what? Black men are fucked up in the game. Black men aren't building. They don't have any wealth. They haven't done what they're supposed to do, just like our women. You got women like Ashley W. who will hold women accountable. You got April Mason, Rebecca Lynn Pope. You have good female YouTubers that are telling black women the truth, and you have black men YouTubers who tell men the truth. They are out there, that are telling men to get your shit together, get your money right, and if the black woman is not up to par, you can stamp your passport, you can change the weather, But if you are stuck in your city, working at a damn job, making $12 an hour, bitching about black women, then you really can't legitimately gripe. You can't, because first of all, you haven't even traveled. Like, I'm from Montgomery. Montgomery's a hood city. So with Montgomery being a hood city, look, if you are a thug in Montgomery, you are an apex guy. You're the guy that most women want in Montgomery. That doesn't necessarily mean that you can't stamp your. See, I made 6 figures in 4 hours before, right? So I can go and hop a plane. I went to Brazil. I played ball in Brazil, but I was all over the world. I was in London, Africa. I was everywhere, partying, having a good time. Why was that? I had the money. I stamped my passport. I had my shit together. I'm not bitter. I was in Atlanta damn near every weekend, having fun, traveling, doing when I lived in another city. Why? Because I wanted to get around professional women who had education and degrees that I can see on, and we connect on a certain level. That's what I did. Also, even within my city, it was certain things that I was able to do. But I think, men, you need to invest in your dating. Like one thing about the wealthy, if you go on Route Report, you go on the Route Report or the DuPont Registry, you go pass through the back in the ads of the back of those magazines, you see ads for matchmaking service. These people that are wealthy spend money on their dating. Why? Because this is one of the biggest investments you're gonna make, is who you're gonna be with, who you're gonna marry, who you're gonna date. Spend money on that. Pay for a matchmaking. Pay for it. That way you can filter out a lot of this stuff. You don't want to date single moms? Put that in there. You want a woman of a certain educational level, background level? Put that in there. But invest in it. Why? Because that's important. You can't leave that to chance and just go to the damn strip club. Not strip club, hopefully not, but go to any club or go to the drugstore and hope you're going to bump into some woman and she's what you're looking for and she's perfect. Then say black women are this and that. No, brother, you're not doing what you're supposed to do to make sure you can get yourself around the caliber of women that you're looking for. And then you got to be what you want. You want this and you want that. Are you that? You want this woman who's in shape and got a nice ass and flat stomach and pretty face. Okay. Are you? I know you can't control your face. I mean, most people can't, but you can't put on makeup and all that shit. So I get that. But can you get in shape? Are you in the gym? Are you, do you have social skills? Do you know how to walk up and entertain a woman and talk to her and speak to her without coming off as condescending? I did a video called Maybe You Really Are Lame. And I was just talking about a lot of brothers talk like they're so damn intelligent that they can't even have a conversation with a woman. That's a turnoff. A woman's not going to get wet and want to have sex with you when you try to talk like you so intelligent and she's beneath you intellectually. I'm a man. I can tell. I'm like, this dude's an asshole. Like, who wants to be with a guy like that? I see why no woman wants to get with your ass. You cocky. You're arrogant. You know, and so that you exude that, and women pick up on that. I'm sorry. It's a lot of reasons why you ain't getting ass. Before you could just say black women are just fucked up and they destroying the community. Well, yeah, but you know, I think black women have fucked up in that they followed feminism. Black women have fucked up in a lot of shit. They don't. A lot of these brothers are right. A lot of these black women don't want to be held responsible for their actions. They don't want to. But shit, man, if you own a company and black women coming in there interviewing for the job, and you own that bitch, and you paying 75, 80,000 a year, and you tell her, look, I want to give you the job, sister, but you know, we have a weight requirement, this and that. Now, yeah, you could go. She might go to the ACLU or some bullshit, because that's where we are in America. But let's be honest, man. White women understand this shit. White women, the reason you see white women in the weight room at higher numbers than black women, because they men don't handle, they men don't play that shit. Let's just be real. When you try to go to the squat rack at LA Fitness, it's white women all day now trying to get an ass, because black men have discovered asses lately. White men have discovered asses now. So now black women are like, oh shit, I gotta get an ass. Let me go. You know, before it was just running 30 miles and getting down to damn near 90 pounds. Now they're trying to get an ass. Why? Because black women have influenced pop culture, and now white women want asses too. You know, so power will change a lot of that shit. Look, somebody's gonna come along and disagree. Fuck it, I don't even care. That shit. I mean, it is what it is. You can bitch, moan, and complain. Power gets results. It has been doing it for thousands of years. If you have no power, you can't tell me what's fucked up. You don't know. You don't know what's fucked up yet, because you broke. You ain't got no businesses. We are broke as black men. I'm sorry. We are fucked up. So you can't bitch. And you can bitch. I ain't gonna say you can't. You can bitch. But you know, if you don't have the power to change it, what the fuck you gonna do? You just gonna die off? And if you've deduced that you're not gonna have kids and your bloodline's not gonna go on, you're weak in my mind. In nature, an animal that gives up, any organism that gives up and just deduces to be food for another organism, it doesn't deserve to live, doesn't deserve to exist. Fuck that shit. I ain't finna go out I ain't going out weak like that. I'm not. Now, if that's what you want to do, you're black. Because see, to me, even in that movie, the movie with the girl Scarlett Johansson, she got real Lucy. He's talking about organisms. He said the organism, it could either live forever or it could reproduce to carry on its bloodline, its DNA, its genetics. You know, black men, you have to ask yourself, are you prepared to do what it takes to carry on your bloodline? In order to carry on your bloodline, you might need to get some money and hop a plane and go find you a woman in Africa. Then, if you feel like American women are fucked up, it's 1 billion women in Africa, 1 billion people. I mean, you can hop over there. I'm sure one will meet your standards. It's only 20 million of us, black men. Maybe you can meet one in Africa, maybe, or Brazil, or wherever you want to go. But if you ain't even gonna do that, if you're not gonna even try to build for that, maybe we should dedicate these channels to teaching brothers how to build. That's why I don't bitch about that more so. I really don't. I don't bitch about a brother going overseas. At least you still dating black women. Well, a lot of those brothers just going to fuck. That's what they're not even going to really get married. That doesn't happen that often. They go over there because they want to date and get to date and sleep with women that they never would be able to get if that same woman was in America. So they use their American citizenship as a trump card. A lot of times they do. You know, because if that's the case, look, man, I played ball in Brazil. I've been to Africa. A lot of those sisters will marry your ass. They're married. It's not happening. Brothers don't want to get married. It's not about that. It's because they don't care. It's not about children. They don't want kids. They don't want to get married. They just want to fuck. That's what it is.
All right, cool. Yeah. Speaking of power, CD in the chat room saying you kind of touched on this already. We keep telling black men get power. To me, that's just a bullshit deflection. Doesn't really get to the issue. I guess you already spoke on this, but do you want to go in more on this?
look, man, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna give you a good example. Um, I don't know. LeBron James, ugly as hell, right? Jay-Z, ugly as hell. When Jay got with Beyonce, right? This is Beyonce. Let's not act like she ain't the baddest black woman, not physically. She's not ugly. She's a nice looking woman. But when I say baddest, I mean the total package. Shit, Michelle Obama say she want to be Beyonce, okay? So Beyonce is the apex of black women. Let's keep it a buck. When she got with Jay, right? Jay, go back and listen to not Reasonable Doubt, but his second and third CDs on a couple of songs. Look at what he was talking about. Jay was about power. Everybody knows that. She got with him and got with the program. This nigga been cheating on her and everything. Any other nigga would be a step down as far as black men. I mean, unless she got with maybe Will Smith or somebody financially that might could come for Jay on that level. But it would have to be a billionaire, like somebody. And Beyonce, all that she talks, all the single ladies bullshit, right? But B ain't going nowhere, is she? And say what you will, but we don't have power. So you can talk that shit, but you broke. Most of us broke, ain't got no damn money. And then there are rare exceptions where brothers got money, got their shit together, can't get a woman. But therein, now you got to look at other shit too. It ain't. I would have to see you in person and go around you and interact with you, and then I can give you a real synopsis as to why. But for you to sit, a lot of these brothers live in Atlanta, Charlotte, DC. It ain't no good women in DC, no good women in Atlanta, no good women in Charlotte, no good women. I'm like, damn, bro, you talking about millions. You saying you can't get one? All you need is one. You can't date one cool chick that's down. Not one. I done met a bunch of them. I know a bunch of cool ass chicks. I done met down chicks. I done met cool American sisters. I have. All of them ain't fucked up. Not all of them. Like now you just, that's it. So when I say get money, we getting excuses now. We getting, oh well, no, that's just a cop out. You saying it's power, but even like nigga, when have we ever had power? Let's get some money and see. Can we find out? Because even if I'm wrong, let's say I'm wrong, right? Let's say black men increase their net worth 16-fold, right? And black men are worth, we go from 8,000 to 8,000 net worth to whatever, 8 times 16, whatever the fuck that is, right? 108, I think. Let's say 108,000 on average, right? So now you're telling me that black men would not be able to say, well, fuck it. If you ain't with the program, I'm good and I got money. I don't need your ass. Because confidence and swagger goes up out there. You got to take, it's a lot of shit that goes with making money. It's not just the bank account. It's also the swagger, the confidence goes through the roof. This is well documented. White people, everybody knows this. Only people that deny that are black men on the internet who want to say that the black woman is fucked up and the black woman is Thanos, right? So you telling me that if you got, every brother got $100,000, $200,000 net worth on that, whatever. He got money, he got his shit together. And he tried to go holler at the sister and she acting funny, right? Then you telling me that he can't say, well, fuck, he ain't gonna be like, well, shoot, screw you. I go get. First of all, I know that for a fact because ask any doctor, ask any black male doctor right now. I know plenty of doctors. Man, black women will die to get with those brothers. Why is that? Ask O'Shea. O'Shea's in medical school. I'm sure he may know a few students that are older that have been out of medical school for a while. Ask those brothers. Well, how are you treated, brother, when it comes to, let me tell you something. Doctors get the pick of the litter. Why is that? What is it? What's so special about, are they more attractive? Are they more, no, a lot of times they ugly as hell. It's money, brother. These brothers, and then on top of that, his swagger goes through the roof because his shit together. So miss me with that about power. That's a cop out. It's easy. We say that shit and we broke and fucked up in the game. And got cities where half us unemployed, dropping out of high school. We just fucked up and we bitching about black women. Man, come on. Get your shit together first. Then let's see what happens. Because either way, you're going to win. What I'm saying is get money, and either way, we going to win. Either way, you will win as a black man if you get your money together. What's the problem? Just do it.
All right, Spectre from Salem Town says, listen, African American brothers who have some means, listen, safe, make friends with brothers from an African country. Our collective confidence in the West continues to diminish with the pressures. Um, the black men who bash black women all day. I mean, you've already hinted to that. A lot of them probably don't have passports. A lot of them that bash black women, they're when they, I guess, do have passports to travel, they go to Brazil or somewhere, and they don't even attempt to get with a black woman there. They get with, I guess, I would say the stereotypical Brazilian girl who's put in front of us. And then also, too, you know, a lot of them, I guess, really aren't trying to go to Africa and reach out to African women. I mean, how, I know you spoke on this before, and people, please get the likes up. I know you already spoke on this somewhat. Should brothers who bash black women, should they make a concerted effort to actually try and date black women in other places on this continent, or I'm sorry, on this planet?
Man, look, I'm gonna say this, bro, and I mean this with all sincerity. You can only bust a nut. I mean, you can only bust a nut a few ways. I mean, you know, you can only get with a woman. Like sex ain't everything. Like to me, you can travel, get with a woman, and you will meet a woman. But a lot of brothers, when they travel, this is what we do when we go to a foreign country. A lot of times we only there for about 2 weeks. We go to whorehouses, right? That's the first thing. Then we might meet a chick that's cool because we running out of money, so we want to fuck, but we don't want to fuck and come off our money. So we'll meet a chick that's just down with me because I'm American. We're gonna fuck her. That we're gonna come back, we're gonna learn the language, we're gonna develop feelings for her, then we're gonna go back, we're gonna meet another chick, and we're gonna shoot her to the curb, we on to the next. That's how that shit work, man. Like I think if you really are serious, you got to make up in your mind what you want as a man. Like if you really want a wife, if you really, because see, something there needs to be some sort of overarching principles, goals, and values as a man that you're seeking after. Once you are seeking after those principles, what will happen is when you do go overseas, you'll say, man, this is my plan. So I'm gonna be over here for a month. You need to be actually a brother with some money, probably need to go over there for about 2 or 3 months because you got to learn the language. You really want to get in a serious relationship. You need to know the language, the culture. You can't go somewhere for 2 weeks and meet your wife. Can it happen? Yeah. But you need to go to these foreign countries, stay there for months, learn the language. See, that's an investment. See, that's what, now we're getting into the investment aspect of it because that's what a wife is. Now you're talking about the woman that's going to carry your vision. Because see, when you're running a family like you're supposed to, and you're having a patriarchal system, that man sets the vision and tone for that family. And you can take that wife, put her in a separate room, like I said last time, and she'll be able to tell you the exact same words verbatim as to what we are trying to accomplish. The whole family will be like that. So when you got your shit together and you ready, and you go overseas and you stay over there, you go to Uganda or Senegal, and you stay over there for a month, 2 months, 3 months, and you meet and you know the language, the culture. That's how you do it when you're really trying to get a wife, if that's really what you want. But don't bitch and say you can't find a wife when you really just want to fuck. Like, and you upset that you didn't get to fuck the women you want to fuck in America. And so now you go into Brazil and Dominican Republic and all these other countries to fuck. And I'm like, you've been over there 8 times. You ain't got a girlfriend or that. What? You ain't got no serious relationship over what's going on. Man, I'm just having fun, I'm just enjoying my life. Well, damn, that's what you wanted from the job. You didn't want a relationship. Well, why are you bitching about black women not being up to standard when that's not really what you want? You didn't want a relationship. You just wanted to fuck. So now you're upset because you didn't get to fuck the ones you wanted. That's what I really feel. So I think that excuse making is abundant in our society, bro. When it comes to us as black men, we got a lot of excuses. Black women do too. Don't call me no simp now. Black women make a lot of excuses for a lot of bad decisions they make, fuckery, and it's both sided. But I just think, as we talking to us as black men, I think we have to be honest with ourselves and say, you know what, we need to make sure that we do our part and we get out here and economically develop. And if I want to go to a foreign country and get with a woman, I can go over there and stay with her and get to know her family, learn the language. Because like when you go to the Dominican Republic, And there's a brother named on a channel called Brothers Abroad, right? And they talk about this. They call it chop your door. You go to the Dominican Republic, you'll meet a chick, she'll be with you, she'll date you, she'll have sex with you, everything, right? She'll be married and have a boyfriend who she'll tells you, or her husband, and she'll say, that's my cousin, that's my little brother. And she'll get you to pay for an apartment. She'll get you to do anything, right? And if she don't do it, he'll beat her ass. Like her husband will beat her ass and send her to the whorehouse. Why? Because $100 a night is a hell of a lot of money in the Dominican Republic. That's like, for us, that's almost like, I don't know, $400, $500 a night. That's what that's like to them. So they looking like, man, you can make, you go 6 days a week, we making $3,000 a week. Man, that's a lot of money, man. So he gonna beat her ass and make her go do it. That's what's going on. And when you go to these countries, a lot of times that's the culture. It's well known. They looking for easy Americans to pounce on and to make us, targets. So that's why I say, if you're gonna go to these countries and do these things, you got to get into the culture itself, immerse yourself in the language, live there, and learn the game, learn the ropes, do the work, man. We don't want to work though. We don't want to do that. We want to go over there for 2 weeks and think you're gonna. Now, could you? I ain't saying that it can't happen that way. You can meet a woman that way, but it's highly unlikely. It just, especially when you don't know the language and all that, it's unlikely, but it can happen. That can happen. But the norm is usually you're gonna go through some whorehouses, meet a couple of chicks, sleep with them, and that's that. So even in that question, we need to travel more, get to these countries, and immerse ourselves in the culture and go with a purpose. If you're looking for a wife and you want to produce children and leave a legacy on this earth past your life, if you're not thinking about yourself and you're thinking about your people and other things, that you care about other people besides yourself, then, because I'm not going to say selfish, just you care about other people besides yourself, right? Then you're going to have to go to these foreign countries with that mindset. And from there, you'll meet a woman and you'll look past looks, even though it's easy to find a beautiful woman in a foreign country that want to get with you. That's easy. That's not that hard. That's why I'm like, Donis, you travel. You've been to Senegal. You've seen all that ass. Them women over there shaped like you wouldn't believe. So, I mean, they very submissive. A lot of those women are, man. I mean, why? But the numbers don't reign it to be true that when we go over there, we pulling back a wife. Why is that? That's a good question.
All right, JJ Redwood, thank you for the super chat. And Ashley Williams, shout out to Ashley Williams, guys. She's in the chat room. Thank you for joining us, Ashley. Sub-Zero, should African American men date, marry immigrant Black women or first generation women that live in the States? Do you understand that question, Sub-Zero?
Should Black men do what? Say it again. I'm sorry, your internet was kind of choppy.
Should African American men date or marry immigrant Black women or first generation women that live in the States?
Ooh, that's a good one. I tell you what, it depends. A lot of those women, you won't be able to tell if they've been raised here. I think that's second generation. First generation is when they first get here. So I don't know, man. I mean, it depends on them. I mean, I could tell you a horror story from a chick from Nigeria. I ain't gonna even say her name, that I dated. And she showed her ass. She did. And she was a fool. So, and she used her culture as a crutch. She would act a fool and then say, you don't understand my culture. Because she was a Bibio. You don't understand my culture. I'm like, whatever. Don't know. I've met African women. I went to Tuskegee. I knew a bunch of African women at Tuskegee. They carried themselves different than this. Don't hand me that. Now you just get, you're trying to run game. So I'm polite. And I met some chicks that were from Africa that still got that disposition about that. They still ladies. They still, they're not slutty. They're not showing their ass off. They good women. They make good mothers. Everybody's a case by case basis, man. That's just me. You could tell me, look, you could tell me that single moms ain't shit, right? You can tell me that, right? And I can meet a single mom that's cool. That's not with all this gynocentric worldview type stuff. She's respectful. She's respecting the fact that I'm paying bills. I'm coming in with my money. I'm doing certain things, providing, protecting. She gonna be like, she gonna tell her children, look, you gonna respect this man if you raise your voice, and I find out I'm whooping your ass. You got women that will do that, right? But that means you can't make it absolute. You can't make it's a case by case thing. We're so binary, 0 or 1. It's like true or false. It's not no. It could be multiple choice in certain instances. Doesn't necessarily have to be one way, and you can have more than one correct answer. I just think that way. Now I ain't saying don't. What you're not hearing is for me to tell you to go out and date Boom Queensha with 4 and 5 babies. No, that's not. Don't put that on me. Don't lie like that. But I'm just saying, let's not act as though that YouTube has not affected a lot of the way a lot of people are. If they right now listening, a lot of times they listen to other people, and they listen to those brothers that think the black woman is Thanos, and they subscribe and they come in, and they agree with these brothers, right? So they live their lives based on what these brothers say. And I challenge everybody within the sound of my voice: live yourself, live life for yourself. Live life for yourself. Don't miss out on opportunity because somebody on YouTube gave you some ideology. Now, I'm not talking about just single moms. I'm talking about in life in general. Don't miss out on life, man. Travel. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I was saying about even in the States. Travel. I've seen brothers say certain things that I'm just like, wow. Like the level of gymnastics that people will go through mentally to defend that the black woman ain't shit. Like, like literally say that black people are the ugliest people on the face of the earth, and it's been proven by science. I actually had somebody tell me that shit. Somebody who I respect, somebody who is an intelligent brother who teaches certain things. I was just like, damn, really? You believe you want to say? Now I've been looking for that study. I've never seen it because it's non-existent. But that's what I'm saying. Like, live life for yourself, man. That's what I would challenge any of us as black men. Stamp your passport, live, man. Go out here, go after it, get money, get yourself together and live, man. Then you'll know what you're capable of. I know if I want a woman that looks like, Bria Miles, I know where to go. I know what to do. I know where to go. If I played ball in Brazil, I've been to Ethiopia. I've been to a couple of African countries. I know where beautiful women that love, that will love, I know where they are. I know what to do. But we don't know, and we don't try. Stop living through YouTube. Stop trying to live vicariously through the black woman is Thanos guys, because you don't know them. Half of them you don't even see their face. You don't know. They may be 5'2", fat, flabby, socially awkward. And you listening to this nigga, you trying to formulate your worldview off of what he got to say? Come on, man. Live for yourself.
All right, brother Sub-Zero, thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. Everybody, make sure you go to Sub-Zero3639. Make sure you go to his YouTube page and subscribe.
You there?
Yeah, I'm right here. Hello? Did we lose you?
Donis.
Yeah,
you hear me?
Right here. Hear you. Yes. Hello? Now, what we're doing, we're gonna go ahead and close out. Sub-Zero. But guys, make sure you go to Sub-Zero3639. Make sure you go to his YouTube page and subscribe to his channel. Once again, everybody, thank you for joining us. I will be back on here shortly. I have a brother from Zimbabwe coming on. We're going to be discussing Zimbabwe rejoining the Commonwealth and how backwards that is, in my honest opinion. So everybody, thank you for joining us. Make sure you like and subscribe to this page as well. Make sure you share the videos. All those who super chatted, thank you so much for super chatting. Make sure
I'm here.
Okay, yeah, what we're doing, we're just closing out. Yeah, we can hear you.
We're
just closing out.
No, I'm here.
I know, but yeah, we're closing out. Yeah, right here. Hear you. Yes.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what we're doing, we're going to go ahead and close it out.
Okay. All right.
Sub-Zero. Make sure you go and subscribe to this channel. Everybody, thank you for joining us. I'll be back on here shortly. Have a brother from Zimbabwe coming on. We're going to be discussing Zimbabwe rejoining the comment and how backwards that is, in my honest opinion. So everybody, you like and subscribe to this page as well. Make sure you share the videos. All those who super chatted, thank you so much for super chatting. Make sure you go to. Okay, yeah, what we're doing, we're just closing out. Yeah, we can hear you. Closing out. You have to put your
all right.
Put it on mute. Okay, so everybody, make sure you go to search for Huru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Also go to Africa Personified on those same platforms. Also go to africapersonified.africa, DynastyMirror.com, search for Huru.com, and go to Amazon.com, search your name, Dynasty Mirror, and please buy a book. Sub-Zero, do you want to say something in closing? Hello? Sub-Zero, did he hang up already? Yeah, he already closed. He already left. So everyone, once again, thank you so much for joining us. Till next time. Peace.